Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Hey, topic of the day, career dating. I keep receiving these emails, and as I'm reading through so many of them, I keep saying, hey, I've been dating this person or in a relationship with this person for 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, 7 years. You know, I really shouldn't ever have to read, I've been in a relationship or dating this person for more than 3 years. Like, if you're over the age of 25 and you are in a relationship, marriage should be the goal. Like, we don't have time. Once you cross 25, it's time to be fully grown up. It's time to be all the way in or just not in at all. Like, we don't have time to be playing around when you 30, 35, 40, 45 years old. Like, if marriage is not the goal, then you shouldn't be dating. The person that you're dealing with, you should know if marriage is the goal or not. If it's not the goal for them, then you need to let that go and move on with your life so that you can attract someone who has your same goals. Some people say marriage doesn't matter. Marriage isn't necessary. If you say that, you obviously are not a Christian. I'm a Christian relationship coach. That's what I speak on. That's what I touch on. Marriage is absolutely necessary if you're going to be having sex in a relationship because you need to be under the covenant. You need to be in right standing. Sex is already so dangerous, so powerful. It can be a beautiful thing or it can be a destructive thing. You form a soul tie whether you're married or not. So your soul tie can be a twisted bond, a twisted and toxic bond, or it can be a strengthening and uplifting bond. It can be something that builds your life or that tears your life apart. And it depends really on what your foundation is. So if you are under the covenant, if you are in right standing, if you have committed to one another until death does us part, and you've signed the dotted line, now what you're saying not only to your partner but to God is, I'm all the way in. I'm committed. I can uphold these vows because I'm all in. If you're not all in, then you can get hurt very badly. You know, you never want to be in something tiptoeing. You never want to do something halfway. Anything you do, you have to be completely committed or get out of it because you're going to end up getting hurt. And so what's happening in these career dating relationships, people, you're going in and you haven't fell in love with yourself. So you have low self-esteem, you have low confidence, and you go in and you don't feel worthy of asking for marriage. You don't feel worthy of demanding that marriage be the goal because you feel like I'll just take what I can get. I'll just ride it out. I'll just go along to get along. It's better to have half of somebody than nobody at all. I'm just glad I got somebody in my life. And then you get, you know, took through the ringer, you get drugged through the mud, you look up 9, 10 years in and the person is ready to walk away. And there's no, nothing in the way that will make them kind of pause and think. See, marriage is also a safety net because when you make this big of a commitment, you have a lot of thinking to do, to go through before you just get out. When you sit there and think, you say, do I really want to hire this attorney to go through this divorce? Do I really want alimony and spousal support and child support? Do I really, on the female side, which those things are relevant for women too who earn more, we're seeing a lot of women today having to pay the man. Do I really want to have to divide custody of the kids and split the house and split the cars? And so you ask yourself, like, have I given everything that I can give? Like, have I done everything that I can do? Am I, have I exhausted all of my options? Have we gone through coaching or counseling? Coaching and counseling is different. I'm a coach, then you have counselors and therapists is different. Have I read all the books? Have I gone to the retreats or to the seminars? Speaking of Chicago, I'll be there this Sunday. So make sure to visit TonyGaskins.com. See you this Sunday, New York next Sunday, and then DC the following Sunday. Back to what I was saying. So you ask yourself, have I done everything that I can do? And a lot of times the answer is no. But see, when you are just dating, when you are career dating, a person can waste your whole life. They can waste a decade of your life and then just leave with nothing. You know, just leave. You've given them everything and now they're just gone. You know, it's nothing in the way that says, let's fight for this. Because you've been love on layaway. You've let them rent you for those years and now they just can walk off. So I want you to really think about this thing and really ask yourself, if you're in a relationship where you're not married, and especially if you're in this relationship and you're not married and you're having sex, really ask yourself, is marriage the goal? Is marriage the goal? Am I willing to risk, you know, my life, my body, my sanity, my peace, my happiness for a fling, for something that is just temporary? Marriage, getting married does not mean you're going to have success, but at least it is the effort of trying to do it the right way. Getting married will not solve all your problems, but if you don't even have the mind to get married, then you're wasting your time anyways. So I want to remind you, if marriage is not the goal, you shouldn't be dating. So a lot of times, to those who are writing me and it's 10 years in and you're still not married and you're wondering why you keep getting cheated on and all this stuff is going crazy, the reason why is because you've extended a season into a lifetime. You're trying to stretch a season into a lifetime. That person came in your life to teach you a lesson, but you tried to turn that lesson into a lifetime. So you should have let go of them years ago, but you kept holding on because of your insecurities and your lack of self-worth and your lack of confidence. So now if you see this person has been dogging you out and mistreating you and all of these things and you're still not married, you don't have anything to split with this person, you know, by law, wash your hands with it and move on. Because I'm going to tell you, as a man who has to get on one knee to propose to a woman, if a man does not know, if a man is over the age of 25 and he does not know within the first 3 years if you're his wife, 9 out of 10 times you're not his wife. Now some men, you date 10 years and then get married. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about that. The reason why a man dates more than 3 years before proposing or 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years and then finally get married is because he was never sure. He didn't know from the beginning that you were his wife, and he was waiting to see if he would meet your replacement. And had he met your replacement, he would have washed his hands with you and left you with a broken heart and went on to that other woman. But he never met anybody that just turned out to be better than you. And now he's wasted so much time himself that while he was playing you, he played himself, and now another woman doesn't even want him. So now that he's exhausted all his options and he has nothing left, 10 years in, he decides to marry you. And so that's 9 out of 10 times. You may be an exception to the rule, so don't get mad at me if that's your situation. But if you look up after being together for 10 years and then getting married, and then you see at year 15 y'all ready to get a divorce, what that means is that your relationship was over in the first 12 months, but both of you ignored it, and you really knew that it was over, but you stayed there, kept trying to hold on something, trying to stretch a season into a lifetime, and that's why it cost you at year 15 when you could have washed your hands with it at 12-month mark. So for those of you who you haven't made that mistake of career dating and then falling into marriage on accident or because it's the last resort, if you have the wherewithal, you have the opportunity, go into dating purposeful with the right mindset, with marriage as the goal, and pay attention to the signs and the red flags. And if you see where you need to wash your hands of this situation, let it go instead of continuing to suffer until you end up with no other options and you gotta settle. Don't suffer until you have to settle. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. God bless you. See y'all Sunday, Chicago, New York, DC. Visit TonyGaskins.com. Grab your tickets. We'll talk soon.